Hello, I'm Ashley Peacock of Peacock Wordsmithing, and this is a tour of my job tracker spreadsheet for transcript proofreaders. I'll start with the sheets where I set up details pertaining to clients, rates, upcharges, and discounts. The roster sheet only requires the reporter name and initials for use in the rest of the workbook, but I find it helpful to keep some additional data here for easy access. The rate sheet contains the information used to determine which page rate to apply to a job. The start date and end date columns allow me to raise my rates without affecting the total calculations for jobs completed under previous rates. On the upcharges sheet, I set up any surcharges I might use, such as an additional 3 cents per page for jobs with more than 25 lines per page. At the very least, I need to define an option for when no upcharge is used. The discount sheet is where I list any page deductions or percentage reductions I may offer. As with the upcharges sheet, I have to have an entry for when there is no discount applied. The job log sheet is the main component of the workbook. This is where I store my job information. Now I'm going to show you how a job would be manually added to the job log. Don't worry, I'll show you an easier way to do this from the status sheet in a bit. So my turnaround is standard. My category is clean. My upcharge is none. And my discount is also none. The job was received on 7/28 at 9:30 a.m. and is due on 7/31, also at 9:30 a.m. The spreadsheet uses the date due and time due to automatically assign a priority to each outstanding job. The client is SF. The proceeding is a deposition. I enter a description and the number of pages. The total is calculated at this point. Then I proofread for however many Pomodoro sessions it takes to complete the job and enter the total number of minutes. And the minutes per page and dollars per hour are calculated. Now I'm ready to return the annotated pages to the client, and I enter that number of pages. And the percentage of pages annotated is calculated. Then I send the corrections to the client and enter the date and time from my outgoing email. The cell turns orange because this date is in the future. This helps me to monitor any jobs where I schedule the email to the client instead of sending it manually right away. The job is now considered complete and the priority value is cleared. I enter the invoice information here so that I can easily see if any clients are behind. I can also use the date paid to verify amounts for tax purposes, and I'll show you how when I get to the dashboard sheet. If there is no date paid entered and the due date passes, the due date turns red. For example, I'll delete this date and the due date will turn red. The formulas that perform calculations in the light gray columns will automatically apply to new rows when the relevant cells are populated. There is no need to manually fill down formulas anywhere in this workbook. I use the status sheet to keep an eye on what I have on my plate. This is the sheet that I use the most. The top left area summarizes my outstanding jobs and pages by what is due today, each of the next 3 days, and beyond. The top right area shows what has or has not been entered into my billing system. The bottom area populates with any outstanding jobs, which are sorted by priority. The time remaining column counts down the hours and minutes until each job is due, with fill colors changing from green to orange to red as they approach the deadline. These two buttons open sidebar prompts that make it easier to enter information for new jobs and to update the status of jobs in progress. I can open the New Job sidebar by clicking on the button or by clicking Ctrl-Alt-Shift-8 on my keyboard. This can take a bit, so please be patient. The drop-down menus default to the selections that I use the most. So for my new job, the turnaround is daily, the category is clean, there are no upcharges or discounts. The client is DM, the job type is deposition. The date in is today, 7/28. The time in is 10:15 a.m. The date due is also 7/28, and the due time is 9 p.m. The description can be anything you want. I usually use whatever was in the subject line when the client sent me the job, and I indicate which part if the client is sending the job in sections. Once everything is entered, I look it over to make sure it's correct, and then click the Save New Job button at the bottom. The new job will be assigned a priority based on when it is due and will appear in the sorted list accordingly. I can open the Update Job sidebar by clicking the button or by hitting Ctrl-Alt-Shift-9 on my keyboard. The top section is for when I'm updating a job in progress, and the bottom section is for completing a job. So I'm going to update my job with the priority of 1. I've read 32 pages in 75 minutes. When I click the Update Job Status button, the pages read and minute cells are updated for the row with the selected priority. I usually update the status at the end of each Pomodoro session so I can see roughly how much time I have left. Once I've returned the corrected pages to the client, I use the bottom section to finalize the record. So the job priority is 1. I spent 114 minutes and annotated 27 pages. The job was returned today, 7/28 at 10:20 a.m. When I click the Complete Job button, this information is added to the job log sheet and the job is removed from the status sheet. The final sheet is the dashboard, which summarizes my work history and helps me to visualize trends. The green summary boxes at the top and the line charts to the right and underneath them will update based on any filters selected in the top 2 rows. For example, I might use this filter to double check the total in my billing system before sending the client a W-9 form. When I want to view the summaries and charts for all of my data, I can click the Clear All button instead of deleting each filter. Below the line charts are some additional charts that do not update according to the filters. The bar charts show different breakdowns of pages. The bar charts show different breakdowns by client, and the pie charts show breakdowns of pages by turnaround, category, and proceeding type. So that is an overview of my proofreading job tracker. My website has some frequently asked questions, as well as additional videos demonstrating how to set up the various sheets. Please feel free to contact me via email if you have any questions. Thanks for watching, and remember, the bird is the word.